Hi everyone, it's Rachel back with the Shades of Orange. Today I'm very excited to bring you a spoiler-free review of the Axiom Trilogy. This is a science fiction space opera that I absolutely love. This, of course, includes the books The Wrong Stars, The Dreaming Stars, and then it just concluded here with The Forbidden Stars. All of these books, of course, are written by Pratt. And for disclosure, you should know that I received the last book, The Forbidden Stars, from the publisher, Angry Robot Books. The first two books I did read through my library and then went on to purchase using some leftover birthday money. So that is why I have the physical books to show you here. Now, when I say that I'm doing a spoiler-free review, let me be clear that you can watch this entire video even if you haven't started the series. This video is basically intended for people that are trying to decide whether or not this science fiction series is for them and want more information. But I'm not going to talk specific plots or characters beyond the first book, but I'll give you an overview of the series, what it's all about, let you know what I think of the conclusion, and all that being said, let's get started. Now, the setup for the series begins in The Wrong Stars, and it follows a group of salvagers that are coming across a ship that is over 100 years old. It was sent out from Earth years ago to explore beyond our solar system, and now it is very strange that that same ship has somehow come back and is now near Saturn. This doesn't make a lot of sense, so they go to investigate, and when they board the ship, they find that there is one survivor, one person that is there, and when they wake them up from their cryogenic sleep, they find out that that woman came across an alien species and made first contact with them. However, that ancient alien culture was very hostile and did not seem to like the humans very much. She is the lone survivor and is waking up to the horror that these aliens are possibly coming for the humans now. This story, of course, follows a group of people that are a found family, and so they bring her in and they are somewhat tasked with dealing with the situation, and the story very much goes from there. Now, when I'm talking about this series, I always recommend it to people that are fans of either The Expanse by James S.A. Corey or the Wayfarer series by Becky Chambers. To me, this trilogy is a mashup of the two and brings out the best in both of them. So a couple things that make it like The Expanse series is very much that space opera setting. You have, again, that found family, a ragtag group that come together and form these bonds and relationships. And with that, you also get the epicness that I love so much in the Expanse series. And if you are someone that likes big stakes, alien culture and alien technology, and just taking humans into our future but not too far, this one is just so much fun. I like to recommend this to people that are interested in the Expanse series but are a bit turned off by the fact that that is intended to be a 9-book series. This instead is only 3 books, and if you actually look, they are reasonably short in length, and that just makes them a little bit easier or less intimidating to get into. I also compare this series to the Wayfarer series, which you're probably familiar with the first book called A Long Way to a Small Angry Planet. And the reason I make that comparison is that this book contains some fantastic diverse characters. There are bisexual characters, there are characters with cybernetic implants, and it is just a very positive future. The idea that people, despite where they come from, have a place and a home and people that love and accept them, and their diversity is celebrated rather than looked down upon. And so if you love the diversity and optimism that comes with A Long Way to a Small Angry Planet, then I definitely recommend this trilogy. One of the things I like so much about this trilogy is the inclusion of alien races. And of course, I mentioned that there is a hostile ancient race that is coming for the humans, but at the same time, you find out that while this woman has been traveling in her ancient ship to the far reaches of the galaxy, humans back home have actually made contact with a different alien species, and these are the ones that I love. They're called the liars because they are basically pathological liars. Humans know that these aliens are lying to them constantly and just not really giving them the full picture of what else is in the galaxy, and I loved it so much. With that, you get a lot of good humor, and it's just fun. So this series definitely has some big stakes. but at the same time, they are constantly cracking jokes, and there definitely are some moments that made me laugh, made me smirk, and it's the kind of humor that you get in something like Firefly or Star Wars, where you have these action scenes and the humor somewhat cuts the tension with these little flippant jokes, but it still just works with the story and just makes it that much more enjoyable and entertaining. So I thoroughly enjoyed all three of these books. If I were to have a criticism of the series, just to give this review some balance, I will say that this series is not particularly mind-blowing in terms of reinventing the space opera genre. Instead, it really plays into a lot of the classic tropes. Again, you get that ragtag found family, you get the ancient aliens with their technology, you get epic stakes and lots of humor, and it just isn't exactly the most original idea, but I was not looking for that when I picked up this series. Quite honestly, this was exactly what I wanted. It was that comfort read, and while I compare it to some really popular series, I want to be clear that I do think that these books very much stand on their own. I thoroughly enjoyed all three books, and I did want to mention that of course I have finished out the trilogy with the Forbidden Stars, and the ending is great. I thought it was exciting and climactic, and it was just action-packed, and the ending itself was very good. It was emotional and sweet and satisfying. So if you're someone that, again, wants to get into a series, but you don't necessarily want to commit to a super long space opera, this is a great one to check out. Also, if you are new to science fiction, I think this book series is very accessible. So trust me, if you have similar reading tastes to me, if you're looking for that fun, engaging space opera series, give this a try. I highly, highly recommend it and would love to hear more people talking about it online. So those are my spoiler-free thoughts on the Axiom Trilogy. I would love to know if you've read the series, what you think of it. Do you love it as much as I do? And if you haven't read it, let me know if I've enticed you to check it out for yourself. I would love to see more people online reading this series because, like I said, I think it's underrated and I really want to change that. If you're new to my channel, please consider subscribing. I read science fiction as well as fantasy and horror. If you're already subscribed, remember to like, hit that notification bell, and leave a comment. Thank you as always for watching. I will talk to you again soon. Okay, bye-bye.